Let's create a space where vintage charm meets modern farmhouse elegance, where dark rustic wood and aged metals come together to create a sanctuary of warmth and sophistication. In today's video, I'm going to take some decor I already have, I'm going to rustify it, add some metal to it, make it look a little industrial, and create a moody vintage industrial farmhouse look. I'm using this decor in my main bathroom, but I think it would look amazing in any space. I'm starting off with this huge cabinet door that I've had hanging on my wall for many years now. I did put some of these glass tiles on it as decor because I have glass tile all around the mirror in the bathroom, which is going to be changed out at some point too. I'm just going to be popping these off because I simply glued them on with hot glue when I created this project first, and then I'll be able to clean everything up and move forward with my new design. To remove all of the glue, I'm using 100% pure acetone. This is something that you can find at any dollar store and also at any drugstore. Wherever you find nail polish and polish remover, you'll be able to find this. It's inexpensive and does a fantastic job cleaning up any of the gunk. I'm using a bunch of these miscellaneous cupboard door handles. I tend to find them at the thrift store and I usually pick them up whenever I see them, depending on what style they are. So for right now, I've got a whole bunch of different kinds. Some have been painted, some have the original patina on them, and I'm going to use no nails to affix them to the glass. This little scoring tool from the Dollar Tree comes in super handy for a lot of projects, and I am going to continue to pull off any of the excess glue with that once it has a chance to set up just a little bit. If I got any excess glue on the handles like I did for this one, I just used a paper towel to clean it up a little bit before I put it on the glass. This is one of the easiest projects I've ever done, and I think it really looks amazing. As soon as you walk in the bathroom, that's what you see. So milk cans definitely scream farmhouse, but for this project, I'm going to be taking what it looked like before and making it look old and weathered and crusty. And I want it to look dark. So for this one, I'm starting with black. I did a previous project like this just in my last video, and I started off with a dark gray over the whole thing. But because this already has that galvanized look, I didn't want to cover that all up. So I'm going to be just going down the bottom side here. I'm going to go around all of the edges and the seams, and it's just a kitchen sponge that I'm using, nothing fancy, and just dabbing it along and then kind of making it disappear as I go up a little further. To fill in any of the areas along the seams where the sponge didn't hit, I'm using a small brush and the black paint and just making sure that it blends in with the rest of the sponging. I realized with this milk can that I wasn't able to get into all the little nooks and crannies really well with the sponge. So I switched over to this little chip brush and just did the pouncing with it that way to give it the same texture as the sponge. Once the black had fully dried, then I started using some burnt umber. This particular jar of burnt umber paint is just acrylic, but it has a lot of red and orange tones to it. It's perfect for creating a rusty look. Another thing that gives a beautiful rusty look is cinnamon. So while the burnt umber is still wet, I'm going to be just sprinkling on some cinnamon, tapping off the excess, and then I'm going to use the brush again to just kind of push it into the paint so it looks a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, and then it just ends up having a whole bunch of different rusty colors, and it's perfect. I'm going to be continuing adding a little bit more of the rust look with the cinnamon and the burnt umber. I think it looks absolutely perfect. And then I'm going to display this with the magnolias one more time. And I have to tell you, I'm pretty in love with this milk can the way it looks now. I always have little scrap pieces of wood hanging around in my bin. So I grabbed this one. It already had the stain on it. And what I'm going to do is just drill some holes randomly in the top of it so I can put in some different pieces of greenery or maybe some florals. And this will add a nice little accent piece for one of my shelves. I've gathered some little bits of greenery. I always keep the leftovers and just throw it in a big Ziploc bag. So I'm going to take some of these little sprigs and put one or two of them in each of the holes. Since this is so quick and easy to do, I might make a few more of these and just pop them onto different shelves in my home, depending on the theme of the room. I might put some tulips in for spring or some little baby's breath, or just keep it neutral with greenery. I wanted to add some metal to this as well, so I just went through my stash and found this little handle. It has two screws with it, and I'm simply going to screw it right to the front, and this project is done. I'm not going to put any labels or anything in it. I think it looks perfect just the way it is. I see these calendar frames at the thrift store all the time. They were all the rage in the 90s, but people aren't using them so much anymore. So I'm going to take this one and cut it apart and use the top and the bottom for a different purpose. All I needed to do was grab a hammer and knock off the side pieces. They were only attached by little nails. Now it's time to clean it. I don't know how long this was sitting in someone's home, but it has a lot of grunginess in the little crevices, like all of the trim there. So I'm just using a Clorox wipe, which will help me clean it, but also disinfect it. I'm using black chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the front, back, and sides of these pieces. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have sanded them down a little bit more because my chalk paint was starting to scrape off a little bit because of the slick surface. So bear in mind, if you find something like this, give it a nice little scuff sand with some fine grit sandpaper just to get some of that shininess away, or you could start out with a primer first. I'm using my favorite paintbrush, the Stahlmeister Pointed Sash, and I know I talk about these brushes a lot, but I've had mine for almost 2 years now, and although the handles look pretty beat up, the bristles themselves are almost brand new. There's never any paint stuck on them, and like I said, and I'll keep saying it, I've got them down in my Amazon store. They are an investment because they are on the pricey side. But let me tell you, you will never need to buy another paintbrush. Now that the black is dry, I'm taking some of that same burnt umber paint and I am almost out of it. So I'm going to be a little sad. I'm going to have to try and find something on Amazon that's going to be just about the same because being able to use this to deepen and richen up these dark colors is just amazing. And of course, to rust, it's perfect. You can see the color change from the black to the brown on top. I'm not going to leave it like that, although you could. I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'm going to dab off any of the excess. That's also going to give it a little bit of texture along with a rich, deep shade. And now that the paint is dry and ready to go, I'm using these little eye hooks and I used the Dollar Tree scoring tool just to poke a starter hole. This wood is fairly soft. It's probably pine. And I was able to just very easily screw in this little eye hook. I'm going to do another one on the other side. And then you can see I have some chain here. You might recognize it. It's all of that type of chain you get from the Dollar Tree's hanging baskets. And whenever I grab the hanging baskets, and sometimes I even just grab the chain on its own, I think sometimes you get it in a pack of 2. And I'm going to be using this chain as a decorative element on the frame pieces. This canvas I have had hanging in my bathroom for many years. I believe I found it at Walmart for around $9, and I loved the woodsy look of it and the black and white. So I'm going to be hot gluing these wood pieces onto the top of the frame. And I've got some hot glue there already, and I'm just going to be pushing it together. And you can see here I've already attached my chains to the top part of the wood pieces as well. So this is just going to be, as I said, a decorative element. It's not going to be functional for anything, but I just wanted to have a little bit of something different on this canvas. All I need to do now is add the rest of the chain links on this side of the frame. And I'm just using my needle nose pliers to hook everything together and to make sure that everything fits really snugly. I don't want this chain to be kind of loosey-goosey. I want it to be pretty straight up and down. I love using these chains for different accents like this because number one, they're black. And number two, they're really easy to work with and open up so you can remove or add any of the links depending on what your project needs. Let's take a look at how this project turned out. I think it's pretty cool. You let me know what you think. I needed to create one more little greenery shelf sitter. So I'm taking 2 of these Crown Mason jar screw top lids. They are zinc, and yes, they're vintage, and yes, they're sometimes rare, but I had gotten these in a bag of about 20 of them for $2 from a Mennonite thrift store. So I'm not worried about the lack of these types of jar lids. I see them everywhere. I cut up a little piece of floral foam. I also put a tiny little terracotta saucer at the bottom of one of the lids, just so I would have somewhere to stick all of my greenery into. I'm going to use a tiny little bit of hot glue and some Weldbond glue, and then set a really heavy can of paint on top of these and just put it aside to dry. Once it was dry, I put the greenery in, and unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that, but I think you probably get the idea. I think it's really cute, and I might make a few more of these. Thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed these moody vintage industrial farmhouse looks and got inspired to do something a little different with your farmhouse decor. Don't forget to do all the things. Hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. You won't want to miss out on anything else I have to share. Bye for now.